Yo, what's up, guys? How's everybody doing tonight? We're welcome back to the stream. So we had some malfunction stuff last night on the stream. So I'm hoping to. I think I fixed that. I couldn't edit it the way I had it anyways. It was too many tracks, and they were all in one track. I had to separate them. I'm still learning this. It's been like a month and a half trying to figure all this stuff and get kind of settled in here. But anyways, enough of that. We're gonna get into some of my kind of thoughts and review on FF7, and then we'll get into some live painting and stuff like that. So we have a piece that we have another camera over here, so we're going to see kind of up close what's going to happen. Let me push this light back a little bit, guys, and we'll get into it. Sorry. Not sure if that helped or not, but maybe it did. So, anyways, it's a little bloomed out in the back. I think maybe because of this light too, right? So this is kind of needed, anyways, we'll talk about some of my thoughts on FF7, and I mean, I've made it into the not Cosmo Canyon. Jeez. Just made it past Corral into Golden Saucer. Jeez, where's my mind going right now? So, go made it to the Golden Saucer. I made it to like the haunted house area. So I'm getting ready to go on the date. Tifa, maybe. I don't know how that's where I'm going with that. As far as the games trying to take me into that direction, maybe. So, my thought so far is that I love the game. It's absolutely amazing. Some of um, the areas you travel in are freaking amazing. I can't believe they put this much work, and it just feels like you're in this world more than it ever has. So the grasslands and calm and all that was amazing. Flashback was fun. Not I think it's cool to play as Sephiroth, but when I was a kid, I guess I never really wanted to be a Sephiroth. I guess maybe I was never into FF7 and a lot of RPGs when I was younger. But I feel now that I'm gotten into way more and kind of went on a hype train for quite a few years now. So, but anyways, back to the review. So I loved Calm and the way it was structured and added so much, kind of like the FF7, right? So many people and different things they have to say, and also the Queen's Blood and all that things like that, and all the players that interacted with the Queen's Blood are really funny, especially the bitchy whiny guy, Calm, and playing with him was freaking hilarious. It's one of probably the funniest moments in the game. Not so far. Now, I think the funniest part is the Golden Saucer part has been in the very beginning. There is with Dio was pretty funny. So, anyways, so that's Calm was amazing. I did all the quests there and all the quests in Junon area also. Um, Junon area is also amazing. I think I like the grasslands maybe a little bit better, but the chocobo like climbing, there was so much to climb in Junon. Much bigger than I thought it was gonna be too. But I feel some of it. There's maybe not enough enemies, but maybe they wanted you to level not as fast. But I feel like it. Some of the quests were all right, like the windmill quest, adding the gear to that. I'm not really sure what exactly that was for. Maybe I missed the story on that, but there's a couple of things here and there. You're like, but we wanted different kinds of quests that were more meaningful, and they were more meaningful, definitely, than the first one, than grabbing cats and other things like that from the first game. So they definitely did a lot with the questing and stuff like that. Really improved on that part of it. So as far as Junon, I really love Junon. Like I said, I think I love the grasslands maybe a bit better than the marsh area and the mythic mines. That was a really cool part. Um, I think Barrett's gun in the caves didn't sound like exactly right for some reason, but that's just like a minor pick, right? So other than that, um, it was fun. I didn't like the Mithril mines as much as some of the other parts, but it was a kind of cool little place to go and explore. kind of added a little bunch more. I think the first game was like 2 screens big or something like that. So this is definitely a big improvement on that. So imagine what they'll do in the third game, right? So they're talking about doing the airship and using that and implement that into this, vast world that they have and zones and stuff like that. So we'll see how that kind of goes and works out. So as far as the snake, things like that, that was fun, definitely fun. Added the fire element and stuff like that. I wish they were. I think they didn't able to get beta. I think on that as a enemy skill materia, enemy skill, but that's okay. But that was a lot of fun. I'm actually doing an art piece now on some of the swampland trees and stuff like that. Adding 2 little people at the bottom, so we'll get into that in a couple minutes. But so far, going to I think what was next after Junon? It was the Junon City. Like there was a couple. There wasn't any Queensblood player, any Queensblood, which I was kind of disappointed in. Which was kind of a little bit more to do. I realize as I get further in the game, more shops open up, different things open up. That I didn't expect. I think in the Corral prison area, right before you get to Golden Saucer. So, but I was hoping for like a little bit more things, because I know like the early on in the grasslands when you go to like certain shops, there's just materia and items, especially like in Calm where there's like a big alley full like of people and things that you could buy potentially, right? But there's only a place where you can just buy like cards, like one place out of all of that. It'd be nice to have like a couple things to buy, like even like collectibles and things, and collecting things from here and to collect them all like throughout the game. And I don't know. Anyways, more crafting material, different things. Maybe they'll implement that more into the towns for the third game. So, but I think that was lacking in some parts, but I can't complain too much. It's just little nitpicks, right, that make maybe the game to stay at these cities and make these cities come alive even more, right, or spend more time in these places. Anyways, so the next Junon Harbor was freaking amazing. It's probably the coolest part of like as far as graphic wise and scenes and like just overall what the span of the everything. It was amazing achievement. They nailed that gun in the whole area. It was so cool, especially the inside. It was amazing. So the boat part was fun. I think it was pretty quick. I did go through Queen's Blood pretty quick and beat that, but there wasn't much to do on that part of that part. I'm just saying, like as far as the ship goes and stuff. So, but it was cool. Something to do on the way to the next place. Costa del Sol was fun. I think Johnny's quest was a little much. I mean, I haven't got to Tonberry and all that stuff like yet, but maybe there's a kind of good reward for that. I haven't gotten that far into it yet. So, but there's a couple of funny parts, and then Tifa and of course Aerith in their bathing suits. I mean, it's a game, but they all look cute and hot or whatever. So it sells games probably. So, got to that, and now I am getting into going through a little more of Costa del Sol's like questing. I think I got through Johnny's quest and another quest, and I have like 1 or 2 guys that I didn't beat. So I went through the Crow prison, through the mines and stuff like that. Not going to prison yet, but Crow mines are so the mines and stuff. So that's been not been bad, controlling Yuffie and stuff like that. So that one's been pretty fun. Really cool like environments and just just like the height of things and mountains that run back, and the train tracks were super cool. Like all those tracks and just how big the areas are, and it's just I can't believe they've done so much to this to make some of this come alive. It's unreal. So then onto the Golden Saucer right now. So from there, there's a couple heartwarming parts here and there. Plus, Costa del Sol with Aerith talking about things. I forget what she was talking about with her and Cloud and about the future and things like that. I think. Anyways, love the story. Sometimes I wish I can just kind of move along. I think it's what some people did, just kind of moved along and went through the story a little quicker. And it kind of tells an overall like this quicker story and like more rounded. Like it's more cohesive, so it's like easier to play the game. And there's so many side quests, so many things that you to do that you're just gonna get lost in it, and you kind of forget what the stories are going on, what's going on with the story. So that's kind of what FF7 was, is you can get lost in just about any part of that game when you get into the middle of it. And for disc 1 or 2, it's just like I think twist 1 is crazy amount of stuff. So anyways, so I'm having fun with the battle arena right now. So I'm with Tifa doing the battle arena. So pretty much stop there. So right now I think we should just move on. And so that's my thoughts. There's some kind of dislikes here and there. You can kind of mention some of those. I know, talking about this. And so, but overall dislikes, there wasn't much, like I said. So, anyways, let's get into the live art. So, let's click over and see what you guys are kind of working on. I'm trying to do, like I said, the Swamplands, Twisted Tree part. And here I got 2 cameras on here. I think my music went away, so it'll be on here in a second. But you can kind of see now I'm doing like this Twisted Tree part. I got some couple tree vines and roots I want to put in here and really make them come alive. Like this one here, I want to, sorry, if I can't see my mouse. This one here, I need to raise up a little higher. And my music, I gotta turn that down just a smidge. And so I want to make this a little higher, make that come in, but not too. I want the biggest part is right here, this big root area. And I want to have a guy here and I have a guy here. So this is kind of maybe riding chocobos through it. So right, I want to kind of give a scale of how big this is. So I do have want to make the dark background a smidge darker, but not much more. So it means making this tree a little bit darker in some areas too, but we'll see. But anyways, let's get to it. And I want to kind of show you a little more what I've done here. So this is so I want to move this microwave phone here a little bit, guys, because I had trouble. You guys had trouble hearing me last time, so I want to make sure this mic's close as me as possible. So, and the music was just way too loud last time, so just let me know if you guys are on here. They let me know that you guys are coming along. I mean, you guys can hear it. They're not too high. So, anyway, I'm using like a soft pastel to work most of this. So, let me get that bar out of the way for you guys. You don't need that on our end. Let's take the overlay off. There we go. So, anyways, so I'm using a like a little sponge thing, and then I just kind of push things on, and then I have a colored pencil, and I have, let's get this just closer. Okay, there we go. So I'm kind of working on this, trying to put some stuff in here. Let's turn that down a little bit. Still kind of loud. Yeah, alright. I think you guys can hear me a little bit better now, so let's see what happens. I might have to turn that down even more. Okay. But anyways, let's add a little bit of dark value to this. So I gotta see what's going on here. My values are in the shade, and I can't have them in the shade or a shadow, or I can't see the value of what I'm dipping my pastel tool into. Alright, so we're going to a little bit darker. So we're gonna go with a little darker in here. There's some a little darker in there. Let's add some black in there. So right now I'm adding some shadow in here. Because I'm realizing now how much dark I have to have in here. Because I'm gonna have to make the dark background a smidge darker. So we'll work on that tonight. I mean, I do want some light coming through here for sure, but I need to make this just a smidge darker. So, and some of these roots are just not going to have the highlights that I'm wanting. So, we're going to have to keep a lot of these in dark, in the dark so that they can, so I can create like some kind of shadow back here, and the light would coming around this area, and we'll touch things up as we go, right? Or so anyways, so let's keep creating some dark in here. I finished a skull today, so that was fun. I did finish it. I think it was last night, like 2 in the morning that I stopped. So we're going to keep adding some of this dark in here to give it some more of illusion of like, yes, this is dark with plants and foliage, and we can add little things like that, like this right here, add like a little tree and stuff. So but speaking of trees, we're gonna have to add like little trees sticking out here from that swamp, right? There's a bunch of trees sticking out and things. These roots out here, I think are getting a little too big, making it look like a spider. So we're gonna take out a couple things and add some things. So that's wanted to add some dark areas, dark thing, make this a little darker. So now, if we wanted to, we can go in here and make this background just slightly darker, because there is fog back here. Remember, like in the swamplands, there is fog, and it's going to be foggy. But I want to be so dark that it starts being, it's like the main focal point is the tree, right? So I don't want it to start drawing your eye away from where I want the eye to go. So we will add a little bit of dark, some foliage, and we'll leave the sky kind of blank up there, because I feel that that will be more of like the sky, the lighter area where it comes through the swamp, right, is slightly lighter. So I want to keep that there. As it comes back here, we'll darken a little bit back here, just enough for that to kind of have a little bit of light, a little dark back here. And this light on top of that root is from the background, so it's coming barely on top of this root from over there. So then we have, now I want to make this root right here come up, so I'm gonna have to make some dark in here, and then into this crack area between right to here. So if I make this dark, that'll be, and I'll probably end up making it bigger because I want this root to be somewhat bigger. So we will, music going and go away. I think it's still going, but it's barely trying to go. Yep. All right, I'll put it up. Let me know if it's still too bright. I'm not sure maybe playing on tonight, but I wanted to do a video where it's not messed up, that the audio is not messed up. So, but I wanted to still keep working on this. So, I started doing a playthrough, guys. FF7. It takes so much time. I don't have much time to play the game, even off camera. I do, but I want to play it just for me, man. I want to play it online too, but it takes a lot. It's like a lot of space, and I figured that maybe this might be the better option, is to talk about it and about my experience while I create art. So that might be the better way to go. So we're going to make this root much bigger. Put it out here, right? The roots on the swamplands are pretty damn big, but I don't want that root being bigger than any of these other roots, right? Because it's further back, and I want to make it smaller. Smaller you go, smaller going back, bigger, forward coming, you make it bigger. So, which may end up making some of these roots over here actually be a little thicker as they come down. So I might making some of these roots slightly bigger and thicker. So, like that. But we'll see how those go. I may readjust those. So, anyways, I think I have a pencil here. To sharpen some pencils. This little guy here, it's getting there, right? I had a smaller one I was working with yesterday, a couple days ago. So I want to draw out kind of what the root is going to be doing. I want to make a puddle, like water, like around here or something. So I might do that, have like a water area coming to the roots going into the water. So I thought about that the other day. So we'll be jumping around here and there, guys. Sometimes the artist's thoughts is like, I gotta add this, I gotta add that, but there is some organization to it, right? You gotta. So I want to add like maybe some water right there. That's kind of cool, right? So around that tree branch, around the root of sort, and we will add another cool like element to our foreground, right? So maybe we'll add branches and some little small trees, things, and some bushes around that. But I wanted to add that, and we'll make it a little light, right? Don't want to fill it all in. And this little shoreline, the little edge of the water kind of gives it some depth, right? So what I might do is, I could bring maybe this one here. Other one has a little bit of water around it, right? Maybe this is poured into that one. I don't know. So we'll see what happens, right? Continue. It's kind of cool, right? So maybe the water's just still right there and sitting around that root. So, but you never know, right? It's things can happen. All kinds of things can happen in the world of fantasy, right? To a certain point, right? It's like so. But if I decide I don't want it and it looks stupid, right? I could just take it out and but I can implement all kinds of stuff. Right now, I think that having that one area filled in is probably all we need. Right? Maybe you don't need the other part. So stick with that for now. Come back to that later if we decide to do something different with it. So we can just add like ponds and stuff like that. So later on little spots here and there. So, anywho, let's get into this. Let's start adding some different value colors to this. Make a big old tree root coming right down to the ground. So some of these tree roots are humongous, right? They're pretty big. They're bigger than sometimes they're just as big or bigger than the chocobo or anything. So I can make my guys a little bit bigger if I decide to down there when I get a chance. But I'm going by what I'm seeing right now with the size of my little dudes. So we'll go with that right now. So, and most of these branches were coming right out of the side of the tree. These branches, sorry. These roots were coming right outside the side of the tree. So it was pretty cool, right? But that's pretty good. Do that. Hope that audio is pretty good, guys. Hoping that you guys can hear me. So mic a little closer. There we go. So, anyways, we'll continue to just touch up things, highlight things. Might keep this little branch here. So let's go here, darken this up a little bit. Sometimes you need a combination of different values, like a lighter, like a darker type value, to get things you need. Maybe you need I have a bluish kind of gray color right now with a value that works spread throughout, and it works as different types of lighter type value. I need to add more of that into my pieces, and I don't have it as much, and it just gives another whole value of depth. I need to use it more, and I don't. So I'll be try to doing that here more. So you can really tell a difference when you start using that color instead of like a light black or a light gray, but this one's like a bluish gray, and it kind of gives it another kind of value and feel and color, a little color to the piece. Not that there's much, but it adds something. So everything is in black and white. There's tons of different values in here. Like I have skulls that range from like. I have 6, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different values. I can use gray and dark and then white, and I can get another value, and then all kinds of values. And with these colors, with these different color values that I have, I'm saying colors, but I guess gray and dark gray are somewhat like colors, right? But not really. So maybe I'm almost like doing like a monochromatic type thing, but I'm not using a color, just using like values, obviously. So, anyways, continue on with the root thing. So, underneath here is where the rest of the tree is. We'll break the tree down a little bit. Down here. That. There we go. Maybe this tree, define it a little more. We put like some black, some pencil or pencil below it. Right below the tree. Yeah. Cool, little separation. Now that's white area is not obvious. It's not a root. That's just it's just the water. So I might want to cover up this root here a little bit, just show the edge on top. So. I think I had an extra picture I was supposed to have up here that shows what I'm actually working on, but I don't see it. Swamp. Is it not? Oh, it's probably above my live painting stuff. No. Huh. Maybe I'm not seeing it. Webcam, phone camera, capture device. I had a. Oh, is that it right there? Swamp. Huh. I don't know why it's not here, but it kind of was showing what I was kind of working on at the time. But it's not working. It's not tonight. It was a reference photo. I had 2 chocobos and some trees. So I kind of don't need that right now. So, but I am there is no like tree. I mean, this is my tree. I didn't use any kind of reference of trees. I drew my own tree. But I did have, like I said, any reference. But when I was drawing on the iPad digitally, and I actually had my digital piece over here, I was kind of eyeing as I go forward. So, so it's all kinds of things that kind of help me do what I need to do. Just overall, having a resource is such a big help. So, it is definitely a big help. Alright, so bring some shadow, some things in here. Like all this should be lightened up because of, and then we'll bring some light coming through underneath the shadow down here, underneath some of these branches because the light is coming through, right? So it's coming right through here. Maybe it's bigger, maybe it's coming through. And then, there we go, see? And if I can go back over this branch here and get that kind of filled in. You can work all over the place, you don't necessarily stay in one place. It is sometimes the process is, especially digital work, is needed to just have a process and stick to it, don't go all over the place, right? So, there's a lot of that. A lot of artists do that. I do that. Every artist kind of does that. But it's good to start in one place, especially the background. I think go to your foreground, but you know what? We don't always play by the rules. So that's not what artists do most of the time. But it's kind of who we are, man. To be more proficient, you should probably go by those. Like start with the background first, work your way back. It helps with knowing your values, where you want the background, at least how dark you want your values to be. So that's a good thing to have. Just to by some rules like that. It helps you sometimes have to get the piece down a lot quicker. You can go through it a lot easier and less mess up of like what colors what values you're using. And especially with color, right? You should always start with the background first for color. I figure you can get away with this a little more with black and white, so and some grays and stuff. So, but yeah, that's my kind of thought on that. So, but now I like this gray so much that I want to use more of this freaking gray. This gray, I really want to. I think this gray actually works better further into the piece than just back here with all this stuff. So obviously that's gonna be a lot dark, some darker areas in there, but you guys like to hear me talk or not? But I mean, I could be blabbering on. You guys heard this stuff before. Maybe I'm not saying everything right. Is there something that you guys want to know? How I got into doing this, or how I go my process, how just whatever, any questions at all. So anyways, we're gonna continue on with these roots. Right now some of these roots are in shadow, so I'm gonna cover some of these roots up. So, and we're gonna make some more depth. We're gonna add a little bit of black into some of these areas, just a little bit, especially the backs of things and stuff that gets covered over by a shadow. Like that. So we're going to. I feel like I need to explain myself too many times. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put something in the chat. The minute, it'd be great to get someone to sit here and talk with. It's kind of lonely by yourself, right? Talking to yourself. I mean, that's gonna, change. I'm gonna get a couple more viewers and more stuff. So it's a matter of, time. So, anyways, I'll continue to make this image darker. Let's add a little, maybe somewhat plant life type thing. We can add all kinds of things. We'd probably be taking some of this away, right? So, but we can at least add texture things, and it's fun to add all that stuff, right? It really is. So, I'm gonna get lost in some sauce with some of this, some of these highlights and stuff too. So, sometimes it's good to just open up areas and leave them a little brighter than others. So maybe we'll leave this area just a little bit brighter in some areas. It's good to have good, nice contrast with that dark, the light beside the dark, right? Really kind of creates the depth to see that you kind of wanting within the piece. Alright, so there's a lot to think about when you go into this. Shadows create so much depth, so much life, brings so much life to pieces. It really does. If you learn how to do shadows with your pieces, man, it just makes them come to life. It's so cool. Alright, I feel like I need to make maybe this root, obviously I need to make this root way thicker. So we're going to make this root a little bit bigger. We're gonna come over up here, come like that or something. So I think that'll be cool. I think that would kind of helps. Maybe there's a root that comes down here too, right in the ground. Crosses over there, right? There's a couple roots that stick out of the ground too. Maybe there's one back here that just comes out of the ground, big one. So, you never know, right? It's kind of cool to think about how many roots that go within a tree. I guess they say that roots are so far underneath the ground, it's almost bigger than the tree up top, which is hard to believe, right? Especially some trees that get so tall, hundreds of feet tall. So if you're talking about redwood trees, right? Those can be super huge, and with a lot of branches underneath, because I can't imagine how big those branches are. If those trees are that big, those branches have to be. I just don't see redwoods being that tall underneath. That's just unbelievable, unthinkable, right? It's I can't believe something like that would be able to survive with needing that much nutrients, right, from the ground. It must way underneath there, and constantly rain in California, maybe. I don't know. So I don't want to live there. I don't want to live there my whole life. So if I can avoid California, I will. So Um, back to FF7. We'll talk about FF7 world building and stuff. But I don't know if I'm gonna like. I'd like to draw every portion of something, every region, like Juden Harbor. Maybe do some Rocky Mountain areas. Next, I like to do maybe a grassland piece next, so that'd be kind of cool. Just jagged like rocks and things, but I want to do that in color. So we'll get to that at some point. But I want to finish up this one, the next like this one, maybe on Tuesday. I don't think we're gonna finish it up tonight for sure. So, but good. But I only want to be on here for about 2 hours or so. So we will see how things go. I think I don't know what time it is right now. It is almost 10 o'clock. So I don't know when I started. So I started 40 minutes ago. So we'll do it like 10:20 or something like that. Or 10:40. Let's see what happens. So that made sense. I don't know. I'm not a whatever. So anyways, we'll go as far as we can. Wait, as long as we can. So but that one came out pretty good. So we'll fill that one a little bit. And a little bit of dark. Leave a little bit of light on the back, the front end, because that end needs to see some of the light, right? So, on my camera, I think on my piece, it's a little bit darker than what you guys are seeing. It's slightly darker. So, if you guys are wondering why, if it's so light, well, it's a little bit darker on my end. So, I could make it a little darker, but, which I probably might do on some areas. Especially back underneath here, the darkest part is probably going to be this root. Or no, back here, this will be the darkest part, right? Back in this area. That'll probably be the darkest part. So we're trying to make this dark enough to where it's good and separates. I'm able to separate the light color from the dark. There we go. Alright, it's pretty good. Not bad. So I can come in here and draw around my tree root here. Give it a kind of dark spot behind the tree root. And we won't use the dark. We use slightly lighter value for these other roots over here, because they are not totally dark and black. So I like using this instead of using other values of black and white through colored pencil. I really like, because it can be messy in the very beginning. I like doing my skulls kind of messy, and then kind of erasing the eyes out, and adding different values to the face as I go, and continue to evolve. It's so cool evolving when you start to evolve in different things, different ways. Sometimes you evolve in a way you don't want it, and you're just like, I have to go back and you gotta fix this and fix that. But as far as doing like evolving like trees, I love doing trees. Those are a lot of fun. That's why I kind of picked the swamplands area to do trees. So it was a lot of I guess I had an idea before I even started this to drawing the swamplands in some way. So, but yeah, it's been fun. I'm enjoying it. So we'll get a little bit of twisting of the tree here. Tree. You want to say branch? It's gonna drive me nuts. So we'll do a little twist in this tree here. Go and do another twist in this tree. Sometimes I don't have it, but I did notice a lot of twisting in some of these branches. So I dare get the same branches again. A lot of these tree roots. So but it's alright. Now sometimes I go over these and kind of make those twisted tree roots to soften them out so they're not so hard lines. Then if I want, I can go back in and then start implementing light areas on those tree roots. So some are going to be lighter than the other ones, some will be darker than the other ones. You don't want them to be so bright that it's starts being bright like it's foreground. So, or the background. What I mean is, to make these too light, then I have to make the background darker. So I have to make sure the values on those branches. I got so many branches again. On those roots have to be dark enough all over to be able to make that the water to be somewhat light, somewhat dark enough to show the light on the roots also. So we can do like maybe there's like a stick hanging out there, like basically like a tree, like inside the water and stuff. So things like that, right? Little things. There's a couple in the log flowing, all kinds of things. So in the water here and there. But we can't add some dark areas, and we can start taking some of the water and adding reflection. Right? We'll add some reflection. We'll add a little bit of darkness to some of this, and then we can kind of take out some of the reflection. So if the shoreline's right here, maybe we could do like a shoreline area, and then there's a tree back here that if you do enough, you can get like this kind of ripple, make our reflection off the water type thing, right? And a lot of this could just be sticks and just rummy water, kind of bleh water, but we will implement a little bit of water here, that water back here. A little bit of water right there. Maybe I can make that water go clear back here, maybe. Right. And make that shoreline go back a little bit, maybe. And it will be branches, shadows from branches that even come out all the way out past the branch. Because this root here will have a branch that hits over top, right? Over top when the sun hits the top of that, where is it going to go? It's going to warp all the way going, it's going to warp a lot going back. It's going to like warp way back here probably or something. So then the sun's going to shine, so it's not going to be a hard shadow, it's going to be probably a soft shadow. So there's all kinds of things to think about with shadows. Shadows cover other things. Like there's a shadow probably from this one here that covers over this one a little bit slightly. So let's see. The shadow here will probably cover over most of what's over here. The darkest part of the shadow is right where the tree connects to the branch, where the tree connects to the root. That'd be the darkest part. I mean, maybe it's not the darkest part of the whole piece, because the darkest part of the whole piece is probably going to be these two back in here. So. I wish I could use some Final Fantasy music. That'd be great. Right? Then I get sick of it and wouldn't want to hear it on the game. So it's probably good that I just using whatever kind of music. But I try to get some kind of fantasy type music, right? To help with all of this, me talking and stuff like that, because that's the background music, so we don't need background music to kind of work and stuff. But I usually don't I listen to either Kingdom Hearts music, Final Fantasy music, Enya, sometimes I'll just listen to Deftones, so it's like depending on what you're kind of into, right? So. Making some adjustments, highlights adjustments. Depending how far this goes out. Maybe the tops of these things here are getting highlighted. There we go. And probably gonna highlight that this one right here is already brighter than this one, so I want to make sure that it's not as bright. Make this one brighter. Just slightly brighter. And then what I could do is come in here with some darker value here. Instead of kind of hit some of this in here. Make this darker than the other one for the front there. If I had to come in here and add some dark and then kind of use my finger to kind of make it darker, I will, and then I can smooth it out and it won't be as dark. Go. Okay. Nice. Adding some details to the so the world FF7, right? I feel so unlimited. I mean, it's unlimited in what you can do in a world of any Final Fantasy, right? Make a kind of story, make a rule, a law, or anything within the world of fantasy. And I feel that this one has a lot of like, especially the story elements and the life stream and everything like that. So there's all kinds of cool elements of just really cool storytelling in this game, and the art is unbelievable. I think like the favorite place. I'm trying to think of the favorite place I've been. It probably has to be going to the Junon. That's probably my favorite. I think I'd like to draw something similar to that in some way. But structurally, like structure is super hard, super like perspective. You have to get things right. So what I might do is go into it. Maybe do like up ahead, like a really far shot, show like people from afar, not doing too much detail, but getting that really cool, like really big building, sense of scale and everything. So like I'm doing with this one, the sense of scale with the two people right here, right? So that's what I'm trying to get, a cool sense of scale, and then I'll implement all the fun details and things like a small paths and everything to that point. But right now I'm really having fun with creating all these little shadows and little things that bring this whole thing alive. So we can start adding some grayer stuff here. Not too much light coming through here. There's a little bit, but go back, add some a little darker here. A little bit of shadow. There we go. Add some shadow in here, down here. Maybe we'll add a little bit of branch shadow, a little bit of this without that branch stuff. Let's grab some of this bluish, grayish stuff. Let's see what I can add with that. Probably add something of that out here. I think it's when you're learning all of this, right? You're just... I think most important is composition, right? It's super important. And knowing how to do that, implementing, this isn't perfect, but it's close, right? You have your guys over here, your main focus is here, you got the big composition, corner, right corner, got your big scaling thing, got your small scalings in the back, first perspective. So I think I did a pretty good job here. There's still some things that I want to fix and elements that I want to make it better. That's why we're here doing this, to kind of just showing what my process is and showing how I'm improving every part of it. And I want you to kind of join in and see how I implement those and join in on the fun, you know. Um, and go back to FF7 World, man. It's depending on going forward, I'd like to do Genova as a skull because I love doing skulls. So I think Genova might be one of my next pieces for sure. I tried doing some kind of Genova thing the other night. It didn't really work well. I ended up turning it into another skull piece, and it actually turned out really good. But I want to sit down and actually do like either the big skull of Genova or something like mid-body of Genova. Probably just doing black and white, but because there's so many colors and reflections off of Genova, it's real. So that's a big challenge. I don't really want to do that right now because I think that doing it black and white might just be a lot quicker too. Because I don't want to settle. I don't want to do a huge project. I want to be able to talk to you guys and also see this, but not wing around a piece for a month. Right? I want to try to do a piece or two a week or something like that, right? Well, I work on other stuff too. Like I get these skulls done in a couple of days or a couple of hours. I think the quickest skull I've done is like an hour and a half, and it came out really good. So it depends what we're doing. So we will not get into huge ass projects. I think those are honest for the stream really intense. Maybe we will. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'd like to keep doing this throughout the next couple weeks or months. I keep doing these 9x12 pieces because I feel, like I said, shorter. And if people that stick around long enough want me to do something different, we can try it. So, but I want to stick with this kind of format. So, but yeah, that's the plan with that. So. Being darker back in there. Let's see if that's a little bit of black. So that's black down here. Work our way back a little bit. I feel that I can make some depth with this tree. Bring this back on there. Like that. Smooth it out a little bit. Create a nice little depth, a little layer there. And I can come in here, create some depth on that. This little highlight on the side there. Maybe it's barely hitting the tops of that highlight and going up a little bit. I can also come in here if I don't think it's too bright, too dark. I can come in here around the edge and just kind of clean up some of that. Maybe it's too dark. Kind of clean that up. As it goes further out too, it'll be a lot lighter. So we'll keep it dark underneath in this area here. So, like I said, I can explain about everything I do, decisions I make. Sometimes I can, but mostly it's kind of you figuring it out as you go. Like, oh, that needs to be hit. Oh, that needs to be hit, right? That needs to be darker. And there's sometimes you hit it and you're like, oh, I hit so much that I'm just stacking tons of value on each other and it's not really sticking well. So you have to realize when to stop and move on. You can erase or take a paper towel and get some of these colors, these values off. And that helps sometimes too. But right now, I just use my kneaded eraser. I did the trick. So I can come in here also and maybe lighten up just a little bit of this because of the peak of this inside this little crevice is showing a little bit of light, right? Just a little bit of it. So I don't know, anywhere light could be trapped or ambient light or multiple different kinds of shadows. It's crazy what shadows can create. Adding minor things here and there. Once we get all the ground laid, maybe we'll start adding like bushes and leaves and things and stuff. But right now, I just want to focus on getting some of these. Some of these bunch of these bushes and delicious, a bunch of these roots figured out, and go from there. Because once you get the roots figured out, now you can put branches and dark things, branches over top of the roots. And then you have like this depth. Because you have the shadows of the roots already done, and the highlights already done. Now you have to do now is put things over them that are darker and lighter, in the areas. And now you're creating depth with the branches. And branches with the I said branches. I said branches, not roots again. Okay. I need to quit that shit. Yeah, adding that depth with the overlays of those of twigs and shrubberies and stuff like that. So, and that's a lot of fun to add those elements. That's like a last thing element. Last thing to do. But we will start adding those somewhat soon. Hopefully I'm loud enough, guys. You can hear me, but if not, I'll be posting this up on YouTube. If it turns out alright, I will be posting it on YouTube probably tomorrow and get it going. So I want to talk a little bit about, I don't know a lot about what artist does what as far as their role in certain parts of FF7. So I don't know some of the artists. I know some of Tetsuyo. Yeah, so don't even ask me how to pronounce some of those, but like I said, I didn't get into FF7 until like a little bit after high school, which was 2000, right? So I played FF, FF10 and things like that too, but 7 was something I never really got into until later on. But I kind of know the story of all that stuff. My family members played it and stuff like that. But some of the artists, I know some of the directors, a lot of what they already had was some of the original creators of the original FF7. So that was definitely a plus, right? The music, Komatsu, stuff like that. So that was a definite plus for sure, because the music hits so hard so many levels on this game. So it is incredible what they've done with it. But I need to look more into that because I want to do talking about each piece. Talking about each piece I do and talking about maybe an artist that kind of did this part of the landscape, did this, worked on characters. I'm not saying I'm going to draw Tifa or Barrett, or I might draw their heads and maybe do like a skull implement of them. Like, I really want to do my style in that. But we'll see how that works out. But I want to keep doing this because this is been fun so far. So been crazy cool, crazy fun, crazy all kinds of other things. So but we will those highlights will probably stay like that. I have a white pencil, but I think the white pencil really deserving a couple other parts, mostly not back down in here for sure. But I want to make sure I implement those in the right areas. So where the light's going to be the brightest, which is not going to be back here. It might be back up in here, right, or something. It might be the edge of this tree or something. But I want to make sure I put that in the right spots. Lighting is like something you have to like learn over years. I'm sure Square Enix is really, artists have learned so much over the past 20 some years. Like, I know some artists come and go, but some artists stay, right? I know we talk about Blizzard, but whatever. Blizzard had, after Mike Morhaime left, a bunch of things were happening. Like, Blizzard just fell under it, and Microsoft ended up buying it. But, dude, like, I don't know. Someone didn't know what the fuck they were doing, man, or knew the way they were doing it, and didn't want it, and they still wanted to see Blizzard crash hard. They did. There was a lot of not good things happening with Blizzard over the years. Just employees, heard a lot of bad things, a lot of bad this, a lot of bad that. And it's just like, wow. It must be like one of the best companies out there. But after the fall and like Diablo 4, like I knew that shit was gonna work. It's just, people know what the fuck they're doing. I feel that they don't play it like hardcore gamers do. They don't play games like hardcore gamers. A lot of the gamers don't. Some they just kind of play because they have a lot of time to be hardcore. And I think that's why a lot of the feedback is super important with some of these games. So I know like Maximilian Blitz and a couple other guys, man, especially Blitz just knows how to break those games, right? So he's super smart about that, and that really helps. I figure that maybe helps or doesn't help the devs because that gives them a lot more work. So I think maybe with like Max, because he's like, he's a FF7 lover all around. He loves that game, and I think Square Enix wanted his opinion more than any of it, man. I think that he contributed a lot more than Max might have thought to that game, to the developers. It'd be cool one day to Max be a part of something like that, right? He's already a part of the fighting scene and all that stuff like that, but his enthusiasm for that game and everything else is unreal. So it's really cool to watch him and experience FF7, especially get the remake. I've been watching any of his because, well, mostly, I don't want to be spoiled, and I don't have a lot of time to play, so I have to wait a while. But I figured I could do this much, right? Contribute to FF7 in the world and stuff through art and the best I can. And if someone doesn't like it, then at least I know I'm having fun, and I'm okay with that, right? So, and we'll see how things go. I'd like to eventually collaborate. I'd like to eventually be on someone's like a podcast and talk about my art and talk about the influences, and we can all talk about that world and learn things along the way. There's so much to learn. There's so much really cool world building stuff, and I can't wait to just get to the end and see what everyone's talking about and their theories and things like that. I know that there's a couple guys on tonight doing a podcast. I think it was Final Fan or TV or something like that. So he was doing a podcast with a bunch of guys. It's already beaten it. I'm not sure if Blitz was on there tonight because I know he hasn't. I don't think he's beaten it yet. He's at Golden Saucer or something, I think. So could be a little further than me, but further than that. But dude, it's been very grateful to. It's been a pleasure to listen to these guys and put all this hard work into, and I want to kind of feel like I want to kind of join in some of that fun, man. I want to keep this channel going and be a part of the Final Fantasy community. I think that'd be really fun. So I'm hoping that for the future for sure. But I'll see how things go. But right now, I want to do the best I can in my ability to tell stories and do my art, things like that. So I'm really excited about trying to do that. So, anyways, back to the art part. I think I got sidetracked with Max and everybody else. So, we'll talk about right now. I think as far as swamplands, I'd like to add some more things back here. I want to add another tree, but I want to add a couple other things too here and there. So I need to add the chocobo and the guys last. I really need to draw that perspective, which is actually not easy. So we'll see what happens. So I love when people just troll me all day long, right? And people gotta just throw shit on here, and I can't take it out or unpin it as far as I know. So wish I could just delete it. Jeez. Anyways, oh well, I can't do much about it, so I could hide the chat inside if you want, guys. Let's see. Let's do chat box. Let's just undo the chat box. There we go. So, let's continue to talk here. So we are adding more to this as we speak. Like I said, I want to add a couple other things here and there, but I think I need to work on some of lightening some of this because it is getting pretty dark in here on this branches area, and it needs to be lightened up just slightly lightened up. So I think I will add a little bit of dark around that branch, and this will be some of the water. Right, the water was pretty muddy in the swampland, right? You can say it was just crap. So I think that adding this stuff, adding a little bit of this, and then me going back and erasing some reflection, things like that really help. Now this is going to help me here by adding that. I can add a light on top of this fruit without having the same value as the water, right? So I'm still figuring that out now. But you see that was something that I was able to do. Get that because I took away that, but because I added dark to that water. So, anyways, we'll add a couple. Add like some things in here. Don't want to make it too big though, too. So, all right. So maybe I go here. So I think we'll mess with the water and keep fucking with that, doing that stuff. But I want to add a little bit of dark back here. I gotta figure out where the shoreline meets the water, or if there's any water back there. I may not put any water back there because it's just like out of the way. It's not really a focal point at the time. So if I added just a little bit of dark back in there, which is fine, that works out. So, back here. Maybe like some rocks and things back in here, right? Maybe there's like rocks and pebbles, and maybe there's a tree back in here, right? Maybe a twisted tree or something, I don't know. Very light, very I'm using a lot of darks right here. But I don't want to do trees all the way around the shore, right? I want to make sure that's implemented it correctly. So there we go. I think mostly there was rocks around most of the shoreline. There wasn't a lot of trees. There was trees popping out of the ground, right? And I can go in here and try to highlight some areas. By doing this, I could create some texture and some cool rock formation type thing, but you won't see much back there. But you get an idea of what's kind of back there. So I think this has been a fun project so far. Definitely put this in my website and things I have so that I can sell it. Who knows, right? Sell it. Maybe I'll sell it, maybe I won't. But I got a lot of sci-fi, like one or two sci-fi, different kinds of shows coming up this year. And by the way, the job thing is coming along a little better. I think I talked about that last time, but I don't even know. I think I talked about one of my other games, the gameplay ones, but hopefully I have a job next week, so I can continue to upgrade my stuff and pay off some debt and pay off bills and live a somewhat normal life, because I've been focusing so much on art and not making any money the last few weeks or months or years, and have to do another part-time job, and never really got out of debt because it was school and stuff. So I want to make sure that I can live. I want to make sure that I can get that paid off. And student loans, I might as well just forget about it. Those aren't being paid off. for all I care, man, they can just jump off the cliff. I just after some of my loans or percentage rates are fucking unreal, dude. So it's just trying to pay all that off. It's just ridiculous. I don't even know how anybody. You can't. There's no way. Companies do that shit on purpose. That you're paying them for the rest of your life. They're just paying their employees with your money, man. That's just what America is. It's like that's all it is. It's just paying other people, and instead of there's not much in return in this country. But it seems like I guess I could be wrong a little bit on that, right? So it's just like on how you look at life. What's the return? What are you looking for in life, right? For friendship, you're looking for money, you're looking for this, you're looking for so with all of that, right? So it's as an artist, it's about me, right? I have no kids, no nothing, so I'm really trying to create a business that's obviously everyone's trying to do that, and it's not great here, in America to. That's not easy at all. Now it's even harder for the last a year now too. So just love making it harder on us. So it's what they do best, it seems like. So screw companies over and screw business. I've been doing this for years because of COVID and everything like that. So it's a thing. It's not a fun thing. Definitely not a fun thing. But feel sorry for the people that have lost their whole house and then lost their stuff to like fires and then different places in Denver. I know people that lost tons of stuff in Denver with the Denver fires a couple years ago, and it's just sad, man. It's just sad shit. So I thought I had a bad. Sometimes I get them having a bad day. I'd have a bad day. They did. So, but still surviving. Still creating art. Still creating all kinds of fun stuff, right? Right now, guys, I'm doing this. Sorry, talking a little rant there. Doing some detail work right now because this is the main focus, right? I'm doing a little bit of detail work on this tree, adding some dark lines in some areas where it's kind of bring out the depth, things like that. So I'm working on that right now. Just creating some areas that I feel the light should be coming through, should not be coming through. So I love creating stuff like this. So much fun. Now back in here, how it's so soft. The tree in the back area does not need a hard line. That's soft back there for a reason. To put your eye away from that area and just focus on some of this here, like all of this here. There's no reason to have any light or any hard lines back there. And I've really learned a lot about what I'm doing the last couple months or last couple of years on just focusing and putting focus where it needs it instead of where it doesn't. Wasting all my time on putting something where it just is not needed, right? It's not needed at all, and it's distraction almost. So I've learned a lot the last couple of years on that. So it's been fun, it's been cool. It's been changing my art so much and for the better. So I really like this branch. This is like woven differently than the other ones. It has this like weird branch. Keep calling branches. Roots coming in and then moving out and around differently. It's kind of cool. It kind of makes the branches take on like another shape, which is cool too. So I might do that with a couple other places here too. So it'll be neat. Take that around. Cool. And fill that in a little bit. Sometimes you just need to. So you can use erasers for it. As long as you're not putting everything in black, right? You're not. Where you are implementing black, it's okay, but if you're just throwing black everywhere and you expect to erase it all, it's not gonna happen, man. You have to I start light, so find and draw the outline, and then go in and start implementing my darker colors to lighter. So Sometimes I'll go backwards, right? And you can do that with certain things. I think I can do it backwards with this as far as dark to light a little easier than you can maybe with color. I don't know. Like I never worked with um, acrylics before. I'm guessing you can go over stuff, but you have to let it dry and things like that. So maybe maybe I'm wrong on all that. So I'm not Mr. Know It All. That's for sure. So I don't know everything. Doesn't even let people don't think they do, but they fucking know their shit. So, but making some vines coming down here. So it'd be cool to implement these. The ones that come off the branches, come off the vines. That's a pretty cool idea here. So implementing that in some way. I can bring one coming down here. Here. That maybe into the water, right? So well, then I could erase part of that. Then that's cool. There's like a shadow that hits that too. There's a shadow that hits this branch too. There's a little shadow. It's back. Cool. Now get something going here. I want to come back here and start adding some more darks because I think we implemented that like grayish, bluish color, and I just want to emphasize like how dark this area is. It's cool. Add a little bit. I think I need to implement lighter because some lighter branch parts too because I feel like the dark is taking over, which is supposed to, but I want to make the branches a little roots thicker too, so they're like really thinning out right here, which is okay, but I want to make some of these areas a little thicker in here. There we go. I think that looks a little bit better. Sorry, actually, branches, the highlights need to be a little thicker, so there we go. Okay. Let's continue on the background a little bit. We can just kind of mess with that for a little while. Maybe just get to the foreground here and there. We'll implement a little things here and there. But I'm just slightly grabbing little things here and there. It gets darker back in this little spot back in here. If there's a better way to do this, guys, let me know. If anybody has a comment like, oh, you should use your camera a different way. Oh, you should do this different way. I mean, that's all I got right now, but if you guys know a different way to do it, let me know. I mean, I guess I could try a different way as far as hanging the camera and putting it below my piece, but I feel like it's in the way, and this is not bad what I'm doing now, so I think I'm gonna stick with what I have with this for a little while, but just let me know. So, guys, think of anything better. That part is a little weird right there. It's really dark when you're in the camera. It's then I could add something really much lighter, right? Tip there. Works for now. Okay. And we'll add a couple of shadows. We'll get a couple of shadows. Let's see how much dark. Let's make this dark. Shadow there with the shadow. The shadow over top of this branch, right? It's like going over top of this branch, a little bit over top of this. gonna let's take this back. Where's that water? That water. Like having the water on the right side. Branches, vines, or roots coming through the water and. That reflection, I think reflection here is so cool. You get it just right. There's a lot of cool stuff about them. So definitely want to add that to some of the stuff I'm doing. So there we go. Okay. So now. This edge. There we go. Cool. So let's start working on some of this background, get this implemented a little bit. Let's see. We should probably start with one of the lightest. Next to the lightest, probably this one. Adding a little bit of tree stuff. We'll add a little bit of stuff back here. Can't really see much back there, but little branches here and there. Also, gonna make sure that we make some of this darker. Obviously, it's a little light right now, but we'll go back in and darken up. Maybe darken up the. I think it'd be cool to have a branch sticking out right here, maybe. Out of the water. Maybe it's too distracting. Lighten up a little bit. Maybe a little too distracting. There we go, it's a little better. Sexy, I like it. A couple things that could be implementing and looking better. I'll make sure that it does with a white color pencil, charcoal pencil probably. But we don't need one back here, right? So we'll keep adding certain stuff. Weird, right in here, it's like not dark enough. It's weird. Okay, so I'm gonna have to hit that so we know it's separated, and then I'll hit with that dark color in between there, because that should be a darker color that I'm gonna need there. That is a little bit better. Oh, for sure. Yeah. So I like that a lot. Cool. Okay. It's a little bit better. Sorry, I'm always like skipping around here, guys. I feel that I've seen some stuff and I want to do some things with it. So make sure I keep my guys in perspective here. For sure. Okay, let's work on this background a little bit. Sometimes less is more, right? So I don't need to add like tons of shit to this over here. just enough to read, kind of what's going on. Actually, obviously, there's a lot of things happening here. I want to make sure that things are implemented at the right um, so implemented right. It's not just thrown in randomly. So I'm already getting like these little tree branches in here. It's really cool. I got this roundabout, like this shoreline happening, coming out past the tree. Alright, I can go in here if I wanted to and make some like rock structures, things like that. Alright, not sure what that is, guys. Yeah. What that sound was, why it was coming through my speaker, but who knows? Alright, so maybe someone using my Bluetooth. One second, guys. I gotta figure this out real quick. I'm not sure what's happening. It's music that I don't even listen to. I don't even know. Someone's connecting to my Bluetooth. It has to be some stuff from like 70s or some shit. But I don't mind 70s, but still, that's not my music. Alright, back to it, sorry. Turn this up just a smidge, guys. I won't turn up too much. Levels, let's see. Yeah, turn that down. Guess music ended. Alright, it's ended, but it's coming back on here in a second. Alright, so we're back at it. Okay, so now keep on adding things back here. We'll add some maybe we'll add some like rocks and shit back here. Maybe something like some little branches. Some like just things back in here that makes sense, right? Just, some tree branches or something back in here. We'll add a little darker area back in here. Not too much, just a little bit. We can go back in and fix some of this if it seems like it's too dark. So go here. Add some little light areas. I feel like it's might be a little too dark. Let's move it here. Go. And we can come in here, kind of slightly darken this. We can darken all of it, or any of it really, but yeah, a little bit. Right, so what we could do is implement some snagging on my shit. Since my headphones aren't long enough, I need to get better headphones. But for right now, this is what's happening, so I'm okay with that. Alright, so the background's looking pretty good. I mean, we could add a couple darker areas to this tree. If this is behind shadow, this like way behind shadow there. We can always come back and highlight if we need to. So let's see. We got. little things sticking out, little stubble, little like branch trees from the swamplands that stuck out, right? There's all kinds of those. So, tip top areas, tippy tops. I don't know what this thing is back here. I have no fucking clue. So, but we're gonna erase it probably and put something else in there. Branch, tree branches. Not made another twisted tree in here, but afraid that twisted trees are so hard that I'm gonna have to implement some kind of twisted stuff in here eventually, but just have to it's okay. I'll do the best I can. My ability here. I feel like it is pretty loaded in here, so maybe what I do is take some of stuff out. Just make the sky foggy. I gotta have dark and able to make fog, so I gotta have dark area it out to put the fog back to fog in here. So maybe make sure when I can make it right here. It looks like some kind of grate. But we will make another one in there somewhere, probably, right? Make a root in here. There we go. Been on for an hour. Late 10:53, an hour and 54 minutes. Yeah, it's an hour and about an hour and 20 minutes I've been on, or yeah, something like that. So I'll wait 20 more minutes, and then we can get off of here, and then I might actually play a little bit of FF7 for an hour or two, and continue with what I'm doing. But hope you guys are liking this. I know that's not. My microphone was a little further away last time, and I can always turn this up in my editing. So if you guys want to watch this later, I hope this worked out. Then we can then I can finally get another video up implementing art and talking art FF7 and like just art talk in general, and you know trying to implement any kind of FF7 thing I can into my talk and my art, and keeping around that genre, right? So I want to bring that. It's popular right now. I just want to be able to draw something within that world. So I think it's fucking cool that being a part of that world and creating some world too, right? Maybe create some world with their own art, which is pretty cool also, I have to say. So we continue to create FF7 stuff. It's gonna be fun. So, yes, sirree, Bob. Yes, yes, yes. If you guys want to check out more of my art, I have a link in my social stuff. So if you want to, I think there's a link in my description. I think that comes up. If not, then I could be wrong. So, but it's chrismccallart.com. So, and I have my Instagram is just chrismccallart. No spaces or anything. So CHRIS and then MCCALL. I just got doing a skull today, so I have like 15 skulls or something like that. So, hoping to do like a show later on in the year, maybe Halloween, and do like a big skull show here in Hamilton, Ohio. So, Maybe Cincinnati somewhere too. I don't know. So right now I just want to do some cool scroll pieces. Been doing a lot of sci-fi fantasy world stuff, and it's a nice little switch, right? Which of what I've been doing, and it's really having a lot of fun with it. Learning a lot. I feel like I can get a piece done in a couple of hours instead of 30 hours or 40 hours on a piece. I just need something else, right? It's time consuming and it's hard to create pieces that big. It is not easy. So, hope that you guys are getting something out of this, or learning, or you just want to watch. So it's a lot to watch, create stuff. So, but it is, as you can see, more time investing. I'm just getting implementing a lot of things and creating this world. I didn't even add any added the water effects things, adding branches and trees around this, grass. Grass we won't really implement that much. It's kind of the texture in the floor and the grass, right? We mix the grass. As far as the water goes, I'm gonna have to go over it a little more with something and add things to it, dark areas and floating logs, which I already have. I implemented a lot of little tiny things already, and I just want to keep adding things. The shoreline, obviously, I want to add like a little shoreline, which I'm doing now. A little thicker pencil, and it kind of makes the shoreline like I stick out from the water a little more by adding a little darker touch to that. But you don't have to add like a sharp pencil. You can just add a darker-ish color. It kind of, brings out that horizon, that little line of the shore. So, but you don't want it super sharp because your focus is here, right? So, but you do want to implement a slightly darker value back there. So, that means just going here and playing around. And, objects will kind of make themselves, right? You can make the rocks just by touching here. You can start seeing like depth. And there's a bunch of rocks right there, and I need to keep creating rocks by the shoreline, and I can use my kneaded eraser to do all kinds of different shapes, right? And there's going to be tiny shapes, big shapes, and rock formations, and different things. And I think it's cool to keep your mind open to like different types of shapes, different things, shadows, right? All kinds of things you can think of that'll help with the piece and create more depth and more things. So I will not be drawing the snake guys. I'm just going to be mostly drawing landscapes, and I might do some skulls of like, FF7, Genova, maybe some of the characters and the skulls. So probably not like monsters in general, but like just the scenery and environments. That's what I'm looking to do, man. That's like the top's a tree to do too, right? I still have a lot to do, but I'm looking to do that. So if you guys are wanting more than that, I probably can't give you more than that. I'm just sticking to that landscapes and like skull stuff. So I can draw characters. It might, but I'm not, I'm totally not up to like, I'm totally could, I could maybe do other things that I don't usually do. It'd still be okay. Right? I could try them out. If you guys want me to try them out, but it'd be nice to. Because it's all about, challenging yourself and doing things like that. So I want to be able to challenge myself in those ways. So maybe it's better than to do some stuff like that. So look like there's already some formats. There's already some rocks happening back here. Look at that. That's just like seeing. You see what rocks do and how you can implement them. You can just keep making giant rocks and making things, and they eventually come out to like, oh, it looks like a rock. Oh, it looks like a tree. You can start making things back here, right? And it's really cool. Wish I could zoom in a little further, guys, but you can start making out things, and by just looking at the shapes that you created, just by putting down random marks and things like that. So start making random marks, and you can start implementing. You can start creating your rocks and things. So it's cool. But don't get too carried away, right? Sometimes you can start implementing too much stuff, but you forget about, I need to enter this tree how it is because I like this tree here. Don't mess up things you already have implemented. But if you do, just remake it, right? It's okay. Just remake it. But I want to emphasize that we're all, no one's perfect. Just kind of have fun with it. Have fun. That's the main reason. Main reason I'm doing this, man, because I want to have fun. Try something different. One of the main reasons too is just be okay with, if you make creating art, you're not creating it all the time, and you feel like you're sucking, you're not doing good. Just, it's okay. You know, it's hard to deal with when not making any money, especially this day and age. People don't have money to spend on extra art. I have been lucky to sell a couple pieces this year, a couple small pieces, but it's like I said, it's not easy. So, but be careful, like with this, if you start adding detail and stuff. So, I think it's good to add detail some of this, but remember to be careful with adding things. Too much detail because your main focus is the tree, right? So, we'll just keep that in mind, right? So. Mainly all this is right here is we're just adding a placeholder for things. So just something you see, don't draw it. Just know that, make a little line that you know that it's there. What am I gonna do with that later? I don't know. So it's like a slight line. It's like don't put a lot of time into something that, like, don't polish a turd, right? Don't polish the turd. I realized that a long time ago. So if you guys can stay away from polishing your turds, you should be good. I've polished way too many turds. We all polish way too many turds. It's just a thing that artists, when they start out, they do. Until they realize, like a year later, why am I polishing this? What did I do so far with this? And it's just because, we weren't experienced enough. So we have to keep learning and keep doing what we're doing, so and get better. So this is kind of my don't go out and just quit your job and do art. I didn't do that. I had some kind of a plan, but my plan didn't quite work out. So it's okay if it didn't work out. So it's all right. It'll be all right. But keep your job, keep all that. Unless you have a cool opportunity, you're working in some creative field and you're able to quit your job, you're working for like a graphic design company or a board game company, which would be pretty cool. I had a possible opportunity, but I was not a graphic designer, so I kind of was able to do some stuff with that. So anyways, just follow your dreams, but keep it back in your mind that it's okay to fail, right? But don't go fucking too crazy, and just make sure you're happy. And sometimes, I haven't been happy in quite some time. A lot of things I'm having in my life, so it's just trying to make sense of it all and do the best I can. So, all right, well, I gotta form this tree a little better. I think I've lost the form of this tree here. It's a little bit better. Means if I had to make the background slightly lighter, so which is okay. Sometimes you make the background slightly darker. It's okay. And if I need to make this back here darker, I will. Because right now this is much lighter, so you don't want to get too carried away with this, and so we will. This is probably the hardest part for me, is the background. It was always the hardest part. There's nothing about the background that was easy at all. So that was the hardest part for me, to like atmospheric perspective was the hardest part for me, probably in the whole art, all the art that I've ever done. I had the most trouble with perspective, or atmospheric perspective. It was a challenge, right? Because worked with pastel, and it was already a challenge already to do the kind of work I did with pastel. So I'm trying to implement other things with that. With pastel was hard, and I took pastel everywhere, like live painting outside in festivals, and I brought bags with me because I was afraid the bag, like that, it was gonna get rained on. So I had to bring extra giant bags with me, but it was a risk, and people were like, "Man, you got to work with pastel? That's crazy." So it was cool, right? I'm not trying to show off or anything. I was just something I knew how to do, and that's kind of where I started, right? Was work with pastel, and that's what I did. So it was interesting. Did that for a while, and I still do it, right? So I just don't do the color thing. I stopped doing the color thing for a little while because I wanted to try to do something different, something slightly different. So it's okay. You're allowed to do other things. You're not bound by social media, what they should have doing. But yeah, if you want a following, it's good to keep somewhat consistent. I haven't kept somewhat consistent with my work, like I have and I haven't. So I want to keep doing the sci-fi landscape stuff, but I need to keep that going. But I've been doing some dark sci-fi work. So I had some artists that really inspired me to like just dark sci-fi work, and it's been fun. But it's not what I usually do. But it's still the sci-fi like genre type stuff. So I need to just keep that in mind in some way too. That I need to stay consistent. So. But if it's like a job that someone wants you to get done, do it, right? Sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes if it's not something that you do, then maybe direct them to someone that does do that. They're better at it, right? Because that's the one thing that some people do that it drives me nuts. It's like, can you draw a dog for me? Like, I do sci-fi work. I don't draw animals and dogs for pets. That's not what I do. So, but I can find someone that does do that, right? So. Hopefully, that does work for certain people or clients. So, but I don't know. It's I have to pick and choose. So, I never had a commission job or commission work forever. I'm not ever, but I did one book cover and one album cover, and that's all I ever did, man. But I kept with the digital stuff, and I use it a lot to create sketches and to create certain things. So I created this like a sketch, and mine's a lot looser, but it is still nice. It's just a different look to it. So, but it is just a concept, right? It was just something I was threw together and was hoping to achieve in some way. Now, right now, I'm having issues here implementing this into my tree. So either the background is not dark enough, which could be a thing, or I could just, I don't know, background maybe not dark enough, right? And that means I gotta make it slightly darker to make this tree kind of stand out and add like a highlight to this top of this tree. So that may be a reason why I'm not getting some of the results that I'm looking for. So that's okay. That's a little bit better, but not a lot. But let's see. Plus, this here is pretty dark, right? I mean, if I'm gonna make it that dark, I can go in here and create this branch back here a lot darker. But it's not supposed to be that dark because it's darker than this, and this is actually being pushed back, right? So I don't want it to be super dark. That means I probably have to lighten it up some, just a little bit in some areas. So what I'll do, I might just come here with the eraser, honestly, and erase what I had. That means erasing some of this dark branch here, and that's okay. So there's a lot of things to think about for, as far as background and atmospheric perspective, all that fun stuff. So um, keeping things the right values and they connect as far as foreground and background aren't easy. Like I was having trouble right there trying to get that implemented, so you can see how it's not an easy thing. And how sometimes it's better to start back foreground first, right? Instead of background. So maybe I want the dark, maybe I want the tree to be even darker, but I don't feel I need to make the tree even darker. So, but if I need to go down that route, I can make the tree darker. So, but I don't think they were dark, but they weren't like really dark in the forest, right? I mean, there's some areas that were like textures that were elements that were pretty dark, but we can go back, we can go in and darken some of that if we feel we need to. I can come in and darken a little bit, but I don't feel it's like mostly fog. Right, and if you're up close to the trees, the fog was not there, so you could see some of that. So, but and I could just add more twisted to it, right? Which makes it quite cool looking. Go. So, it depends, man, what you want to do. So, I really don't want to make a hard line of black underneath all these other rocks back here. So, I think just having it highlighted on the edge of that tree is pretty cool. But I could add a slight darker tone underneath. Some areas to separate that white a little bit better. Or the erased area on the edge of the tree. I think that'll give me like the more better result that I'm looking for. And if that means, if I want to throw more light on here, that means I have to highlight some other areas, which I don't probably want to, but we'll come back to that. Like I said, but it wasn't dark, and it wasn't absolutely like in the swamplands, so it wasn't had a little bit of light coming through. Not a lot, but a little bit. So we'll keep pushing it back and forth, the middle of the foreground and the background. So we'll keep pushing that to where we want it. So like some of this I could probably make that lighter in some areas. And keep that line of dark in there a little bit. I can make another rock right here. Some kinds of things I could do. There, like that. Just hit the tops of these. All right, cool. Okay, let's go in here and let's just kind of fool around a little bit. Now I implemented some of certain things here. I don't like some of this, how light it is, I mean, how dark it is, so I'm trying to take some of that dark away. Just a little bit. I don't want it so dark here that maybe I need to make this foreground slightly darker, and the tree slightly darker. If that's the case, I can fill that little bit in. There's going to be a little bit of separation on that line. Go ahead and get a little bit of separation. right up here. A little separation. That's not bad. It's not bad. But those still kind of seem like they're like, you know, they're almost like distracting in some way. So I'm gonna go back and clean them up a little bit, take the eraser over a little bit, line some part of it up. Because again, it doesn't need to be in focus, and I feel like it is kind of in focus a little bit. So we will push that back even further. Let's see. Let's make a shadow back here. Up here somewhere. That. I want to create a darker area back here. Just a little bit darker area. And then as the light comes through, it's going to hit some of that, it's going to hit a little bit of that, it's going to hit a little bit of this. Like that. There we go. And we're going to get underneath this tree a little bit. That. I don't use a color like a pencil on this because pencil's being used down here mostly, but whatever. Twisted trees getting even more twisted, which is nice. This is the swamplands, guys, trying to duplicate, trying to make my own swamplands here. So, kind of cool. Probably as I further get back here, I'll probably be making smaller trees. I'm gonna make just as big trees back here. I might implement things back in there. Just the tiny erasing thing is all you need, like little erase spots. You're like, oh, I can make that's a cool texture, right? I can add different things. I could also add a building back there, right? A building structure or something. Slightly implement something back in there. I don't know what that is, but it's back there. We can make it smaller. We can make it smaller. I'd like it bigger. I make it smaller because it is farther away, right? So we'll make it smaller. I'm not sure what it even is. Is it a structure? We don't know. But it's back there and it kind of looks like a structure. So we'll go, like I said, adding just sometimes adding less is more. So we'll it's cool. So we'll keep adding certain things here. It's kind of like the structure in the swamplands, almost like it. Right? I don't like the level of that ranch in that thing. I may make it slightly lower. So let's make it slightly lower. Slightly lower. There we go. You guys hear this music or not? I don't know. I'm trying to add music to this. It keeps getting lower and lower, but then I'll start getting super high and super loud, so. I think is somewhat distracting is this tree right there. It is way too dark. Get a little lighten it up a little bit. It is getting way too dark, so we will take it. There we go. That's a little bit better. It's way too dark. So, I have a couple stones here that I want to go through here. Add a little bit of texture. Things too here. There's a branch, right? A branch. Bro, keep calling them fucking branches. Alright, so that is a root right there. Now that I'm seeing the values, I'm gonna end up making some of these slightly darker. Now that I'm seeing some of how bright some of the background kind of is, and compared to the foreground here, I'm like, oh, I could probably end up making some things a little bit darker. So we'll see what we continue to do here with this. Right. It's coming together, guys. Coming together. Alright, I think I'm going to stop here soon, guys. Let's see about. Yep, alright. Anyways, guys, thanks for who actually came and joined me, like the viewer of like one person came in. So hopefully enjoy the process, me talking and whatnot. So let me take you back, guys, to just chatting area here, and we'll go over a couple of things before we move on. So all right, guys, well, thanks for joining me, and we are like I said, on the first piece, I think so. We are still have a lot to cover as far as grasslands in the next couple videos. I want to work on a next piece right after this. Probably this next sesh, we'll probably get this one done. So it's coming along, but there's some things I'm not quite super happy with right now. So but we'll fix as we go. I mean, may implement some darker areas. We'll see. See how that goes. Anyways, but I think we're gonna do either Grasslands or Genova next. So I look forward to seeing that, and I'll get back with you on how my playthrough of FF7 is going to. So um, just want to thank everyone for joining who will be watching this, because this is a better music and everything. Because I think the other 2 nights ago, that my music was way loud and I couldn't control it, and I could have, it was just way loud all the way around. So I'm glad that maybe this was a lot better for you guys to hear me work. Plus, I'm gonna edit on YouTube too. So, but anyways, thank you guys for joining tonight. Thanks for watching, and Chalky Phalanges out. See you guys.